Okay, hello everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Kelly Couch. For those of you that don't know me, I'm an independent promoter with the company Prove It. And we are still at the very, very beginning of our 90-day run to hacking better in October in Kentucky. And we're super excited about that. When we figured out it was 90 days away, it was like, this is an incredible time. Hold on, let me mute everyone out here. Okay, good. When we figured out it was 90 days to the event, we were super excited for the timing of how this could all fall because we know the impact of action leading into events. So today, what I want to do, I want to ask for some things from you guys first. Like, we need to make sure that we're setting the expectation for the next 90 days. Like, I want you to raise your hand if we have your commitment for the next 89 days to Epic, to showing up on these calls. Like, we want that commitment. We want it for you guys. Like, it's not about us. It's about what we can all do together if we're willing to show up. We want your commitment to doing these calls to action, and we want your commitment to growing the number on here every day. So imagine today, I didn't even look. Imagine today we have 10. Imagine tomorrow we have 15, 20. Going into Epic, not Epic, going into Hacking Better, how are we going to look leading into that event if we've all rallied together beforehand? So do I have your permission to coach you guys through this? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, so today feels exciting to me. Like, it's the beginning. It's 90 days. I know what our last 90-day run did. It's like workouts, you guys. So it's like New Year's Day, you guys can take on the world, and then like January 31st, the gym is empty, right? So we're going to talk about consistency. We're going to remind you guys, like, next week and second week and the third week, like, are we still there? Are we still hanging in? Are we still doing the things that we committed to doing on day 1, day 2, and this first week, right? We need to take extreme ownership of the consistency that we're holding, the standard consistency we're holding ourselves to. So I think it's really important also when we're setting the stage for this next 90 days that we're really taking it in, what we're going to be teaching, that everyone's really taking it in and owning it. I think there's a very big difference between knowing things, like we know attract, connect, and roll. We know the play that works, but do you own it? There's a big difference between putting them into practice every single day. Like, at the end of this 90 days, you're going to have so much amazing content, but if you just know it and you don't do any of it, or you know it and you only do it sometimes, you're not owning that. You're not going to get to that end of the 90 days. What I want you guys to feel like at the end of the 90 days is like, man, I could get on and teach this to my own team because I've been putting it into practice every single day, and I know what I'm doing now. Like, it looked ugly in the beginning when I was like cold contacting like a weirdo to attract people, or it looked funny when I did it, but now I'm 90 days in and like I could turn and teach this to someone else. That's what it looks like to own this information. So by the end of this 90 days, we want you to have your own current credibility. Like Nick and I talk a lot about, and Jess and everybody, we talk about like what we're doing, and it's because we're constantly in it. We're constantly trying to practice and make it better and do it. And I want you guys to gain that current credibility for yourselves so that when you turn and teach, you have that trust, right? So it's all the same. I feel like a lot of times we learn all these things and we're like, man, and especially, back when we started, it was like the plays that work. Like, how are we going to teach people to ever do this? But if you listen, consistency, like, consistently, it's all the basics, the play that works, attract, connect, and roll. And then what your job is in all of this. So we're going to teach you the basics. We're going to bring the fire around that. And then your job is to bring you. Like, I am not Nick Couch. Like, I cannot bring what Nick Couch brings, but I can bring Kelly Couch. And Kelly Couch is enough, right? Okay? I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that about yourself, okay? So who feels like, I wanted you to raise your hand if you feel like it would make a difference at the end of 90 days leading to Kentucky if you got on every single day and took the action steps that we laid out. Like, it's ginormous. Like, I committed to doing that in the last 90 days, and everything in your business happens in these 90-day increments, you guys. So the action you're taking today, you're not going to see the benefit of that tomorrow. And I had to really get past that mentally. Like, when we first started, like, we would send out messages, tons of messages, and it's like, nobody even bought anything this week because it's not expected. Like that's expected to take time. You're planting these seeds. So the action you're taking today, you're going to see that momentum in 90 days. Our momentum we have in our team right now, what are we coming off of? Another 90-day Rhino run. Like we planted the seeds, we did the action steps, and look at how we're growing. Look at how we're building. Look at the amazing people that we are attracting in this squad, you guys. I am so proud of what you guys are doing and who you're bringing in. And I can't wait for the end of this 90 days to see who we're going to bring into this team. So the seeds you plant consistently are going to start to sprout, right? And the irony is that people, when they start to sprout, people are going to be like, oh, they got lucky, or, oh, they found the right person. No, it's consistency in action over time. They committed and they saw it through. They're not doing anything different than what you're being told to do. It's not like there's this little secret over here that I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell them that. I'm just going to tell like Jess and Tony and Missy and a couple people, and then they're going to grow. Like that's not, we're telling all of you the same thing. They just do it consistently and they see it through over a period of time. They keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And if you want good examples of that, look to Jess now. Look at Missy's site. They're your leaders in this team for a reason. They listen, they're coachable, they grow their mind, they take action, and they do it all consistently and over time. They're different people than when I met them years ago, and that gives me chills because I know how I've grown, and to see them grow in that way, and it's because they have a long-term vision and they committed to seeing it through. So I think that's so important. I loved Amanda and Berlin's fireside chat last night about vision, because once you get that vision, it becomes easier to do this consistently. Some of you, and I've been guilty of this too, we all pray at night for this growth. Like we want to go so fast and go so big. But sometimes, you guys, we're praying for things that we're not prepared for. We're not prepared for. How are we going to handle that? Like tomorrow, if my business was Legend, would I be ready for that? Like, and I think about that. When I pray for that, I'm like, oh, dang, like that's why God hasn't given it to me yet, because I am not ready to handle a Legend business. Like I need to get my mindset and do more consistent action on growing myself. So how do you do that? How do you prepare yourself for the business you're praying for? You do these things that we're going to teach in the next 90 days, and you do them consistently. Why do I keep saying that word wrong? I love the example that Jessie Lee gave at the event a couple events ago. She was up on stage and she was saying, like, you have two sides to paddle when you're in the canoe, right? And you paddle and doing action, but you're not doing this other paddle of mindset growth. And then you're like, oh no, I need to be like growing my mind because they said that's what I need to do to be successful. And then it's like, boom, 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 boom. We paddle on the other side and we forget about the action. They're like action. But like if you're paddling both at all the same time and you have that balance, that's how you're going to grow, because the things you're learning here, you're putting into practice here, and you're doing that consistently. Imagine that growth that has to happen. It's undeniable that growth will happen if you're doing that. So having said that, I got a little on a rant there. We are doing this 90-day Rhino run for a reason. We are leading into the event. I want to see you guys increase, and I'm telling you guys this from a place of like, I have so many goosebumps because I've done this myself and I plan to do it this 90 days. I was skeptical and I'm like, oh, they just say that, you know, they have this secret thing they're doing. But when you put in the work leading into an event, that event blossoms for you. You blossom at the event and your business blossoms after the event. So you say, you know, and if you're sitting there saying like, I'm not going to the event, even more important to raise your activity, because you're going to need to feed off the people coming back. But really you are going. Like, we're going to get you guys there. So don't say that. But even if you think you're not going, you need to be increasing your activity too and taking all these action steps so you guys can feel that energy that the people that are going are going to bring back. So when people, why do we want to increase our activity, and not only leading into it, but in getting people there? So look how that looks. If you're increasing your activity today, planting those seeds today, you've got 90 days to get someone in that room, right? So maybe today they start out as a customer. Maybe next month they're feeling great, they're a promoter. The next month, 90 days out from today, you get them in that room. It is impossible for their belief not to be raised. Like we've talked about belief in a company, belief in yourself, belief in the product. there's no way that those things are not going to be raised when they get in that room, unless they're dead inside. Like you get in a room with that many people and your belief goes skyrocketing. Like if we could double, triple, quadruple the amount of people we're getting in there, and that doesn't have to look like getting 100 people for you personally. That looks like if you had 1 last time, take 2 next time. That's doubling for you. Like that's going to double who you have working with you when you come back, and their belief is up there right with yours. Increased action, increased belief, increased certainty, conviction. Like when you hear Nick and I talk about ketones, you feel that conviction, right? You know that we believe in this product. We believe in ourselves and what this is all doing. So that's what you want people to feel, belief and conviction. If you don't have it, why would someone want to join you? And that's what we want to build in this next 90 days. How do you build it? Taking the action steps consistently. I promise it's weird. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel out of your comfort zone. But if you guys can dig in with us, you will grow so much. And I can see the growth that's going to happen. And that's why I'm so excited right now. But I'm telling you, events change lives. Events change businesses. Events change futures. Had I not gone to an event, we would not be here, period. And so knowing that, we have to get people in that room. So there's something at that event for each person that is going, like it might be from stage, it might be in the huddles, it might be whatever it is, it's going to change the trajectory of what you're doing. Like you can't sit here, like I would love to say, okay, you can sit here and do it all yourself, but that community and what you're going to hear when you're there, it's going to change. Like someone, I think it was Jess, just said, events change everything. It's everything, right? So people, you guys have to realize, like, people are dying to have what we've built, right? Prove it as a community. And so invite them. You're their lifeline, you guys. Like there's people, imagine yourself, like there's people waiting for you to bring them in and love on them and make them feel better. And these events will literally pour into them and fill their soul, you guys. Like I am that person. Like I was like, no. Holy cow, this event changed my life. Like, Nick couldn't do it. He was too close to me, right? I wasn't ready for that yet. Brian couldn't do it. We just came out of another one with Brian. Like at that single moment, it was like God putting me in that place at the right time and saying, like, this is a season of growth for you. You need to step out on a limb and go. And we went, and it was everything. So you can tell people till they're blue in the face what community is like, but when they stand in that room and feel that heartbeat, their whole heart shifts, their whole mindset, their whole everything shifts in that room. So why? Because synergy, right? There, you can say, like, imagine this energy and this action for 90 days, and then we all go to Kentucky and they feel that synergy, right? They say like 1 + 1 is 5, like, obviously, no, it's not. But when you get all these ones in a room and you're putting them all together, like that energy is fire, you guys, fire. And then you come back, and if there's 5 of us, that's a fire. I'll go with that fire. But if there's 100 of us, like we're taking over this, we're taking over. Like, let's do it, right? And so you do not want to be at the event. And the whole point of what I'm going with here is you want to increase your action going into this event. And I have been guilty of it. You know, right day before the event, I'll be messaging. And I'm like, man, I should have been doing this for 90 days. Because then the event is the climax. The events where, like, let's nail it out of the ballpark. You've lined up everybody. You've got your A team on the field. Everybody's ready for this energy, and you've set them up perfectly to come in and see what's happening there and be excited about it with you. So you do not want to be at that event and come out with no one you're talking to. I can promise you that. So do these action steps. So I know we want to keep these to 15 to 20 minutes. The focus is consistency, and the focus is the event. That's what that over this 90 days, if there are 2 things to fall back on, your consistency in action and getting people to the event, or, you know, consistency to the event so you can build from that energy. So your call to action, what I want you guys to do, and maybe some of you have done this if you've been around for a while, but I want you to set an action goal, a daily action goal that you're going to take that's income producing. So, you know, 5 new messages, 5 follow-ups, whatever that looks like, however big your team is. If that's 1-on-1, I want you to make it something you can commit to. And then, you know, these calls, and do maybe 2 3-way calls, whatever that is, I want you to write it out. And then getting on these calls and doing the action steps should be at the end of that. And then I want you to double it because you're leading into an event. This is a 90-day run, guys. It's not a 90-day like skip in the park. We're on here because we want to change ourselves and we want to change our business, and we need to commit to that. And you can do it. Like, you're like, oh man, she made me say 10 and now I have to do 20. Like, you can do this. Know that you can do this, and you're going to be better off for it at the end of the 90 days. So commit to getting, also I want you guys to commit to getting at least one more person on this call tomorrow. Collaboration is everything, you guys. And so if we're, like I said, and check the number, if we're 10, 15 of us on here today, and we're 20, 30 of us on here tomorrow, and by the end of the 90 days, we're rocking 100, 200 people, like, no, we'll that event, like, you guys, let's do this. So commit to getting people on, write down your action steps that you're going to do every day, get your schedule ready so you can get on these calls every day and do the action steps. Collaboration and consistency, they're everything here. And we're going to focus on that until the event. So what we'd like to do, just to set the expectation, we're going to be sort of doing the same topics we did, general topics, attract, connect, enroll. So we can make sure that that heartbeat that you're feeling when you go to that event and they teach at these playbook events, that's what we just want to pound in on here and teach you guys literally what to do. Like, how do you get started? How do you attract? How do you connect? How do you enroll people? And how do you keep them around and build a good foundation? So I know that on the post, I mentioned we were going to have a contest. If you guys don't know, we're a couple days out from the end of the month. And so we want to have a little fun contest for anyone in the Rhino Squad. So what we're going to do is, it's going to start today, 8/29, right? 8/29. And any orders, it'll back to midnight. So any orders that, were from then on will count till the end of the month. The most new volume. I love contests. I love contests too, Jess. So yeah. Okay. So 8/29 to 8/30. 7/29 to 7/31. I typed it wrong. The 29th to the 31st, most new volume. And the prize will be 1 month Audible membership. Whoop, whoop. Mind growth, right? That's what we've been talking about. It's changed everything. 1 month Audible membership and a personal mastermind dinner with Nick, myself, Missy, and Jess. Jess and Missy are your champs. For those of you guys who don't know, Nick and I are pro champs. So you'll get a personal mastermind dinner with the 4 of us, and the experience and mindset and personal growth in that room alone could change things for you. Like I have been to events where literally the most important thing I got from that event was a conversation I had with someone who was doing this longer and doing bigger things and playing at a bigger level than I was. And I sat down and talked to them, and I was like, that was gold. Like, what they just told me was gold. And they probably didn't even realize it because it's in their DNA. They're doing it every single day consistently. And I'm like, whoa. So that dinner, I'm excited about this contest. So what you guys need to do is screenshot your new volume. If you guys go into rewards and you go down to bonus, I'll put it in, I'll link it, but it's, if you go all the way to the bottom, it'll show you what your new volume for the month is. If you do bonus pools, that's what it's called. So you can screenshot that now. If you had any orders before this today, you can send those too. And then we'll have a screenshot at the end of the month, and then we'll not pick a winner, but we'll see who our winner is. So get going with that. I'm excited. Do this call to action today. And I think Nick is going to either post this link in the Rhino Squad. If he doesn't, I will make a post. And I want you guys to comment there when you've done the action step for the day. So get out there and get going. And we're excited. I was looking to see if I had any other notes on there. I'm a note taker. I want to bring value. But get out there and take that action, you guys. And I'm super excited for this next 89 days leading into the event.